Anna, and I wanted to talk today about, okay, perfect, cool. And I wanted to talk about the fat loss or weight loss today. Is just because I know that lots of, especially now, just doing this as a job, I see lots of people are struggling and cool, Tracy, and then lots of people are thinking that they can't lose weight. So I've done just this weekend a body transformation seminar, and one very important thing that for me was to kind of get that approval from leading personal trainers in the UK, and they say in the worldwide. So how is their success rate with fat loss with women, especially because I'm a woman. I gained twice, and I needed to lose during my 2 pregnancies 20 kilos, which is roughly 3 stone of my body fat that I needed to lose. It was so I know how it feels like, or how upsetting it is when you have especially like a big chunk of weight to lose, and you are still struggling to get into terms how to start losing weight. So and on that seminar, my question was, just to get that reassurance, did they ever had anyone, especially a woman, maybe like some hormonal changes or hormonal problems, where that they couldn't lose body weight or they couldn't lose fat? And the simple answer was no, which was, straight answer was, if you put a person in the room without food for a month, what would happen? And then obviously everything was kind of just like clicked. And so for me now as a trainer, and to whatever my future is going to be with a fat loss, it just gave me a reassurance that actually everyone can lose weight. So I just wanted first to start from really like basics. It's so energy, we all know that we need energy. So energy can't be destroyed, it can't be created, it can go from one form to the other. So what it means for our fat loss, so if whatever we take in our body through the food and the drink, it's our energy. For our own body, we are spending energy, so we need to have a certain amount of energy or calories per day if we're in completely lying position, if we don't do anything. So we need still that energy to burn it for our breathing, for our heart to pump, for our brain functions, for our thoughts, our sweat. So like if it's hotter, then we sweat more. So for all these functions, we are having a basic energy. So normally, well, obviously it depends from person to person, but let's say if it's 1200 calories per day that we need just for those basic functions for our body, this is how much energy we have. And if you think, if you're doing any shake diet or really low calorie diet, how would you feel if you're cutting out so much calories that you even don't have for normal functions? So what I just want to say, so this is what we need for our energy. So there is a maintenance. So for example, in our words, kind of how to eat to understand it, if you haven't lost or haven't gained any weight over a certain period of time, it means that you consumed enough for your body to maintain that weight. If you kept gaining that weight, it means that you were having more energy, or you were eating and consuming more, so for your body to gain. Basically, if you consume more energy, that energy doesn't have anywhere to go, you are going to store it as a body fat. If you want to lose that energy, it means that you need to eat or consume less so that you're able to lose your weight. So I hope this has sense. So it's literally just on a scale. This is our food and this is our activity levels during the day. So you literally, if you're consuming more, yeah, you're gaining more. And if you're consuming less, you're losing your body fat. I did write here just a couple of things so that I don't get like off track. So if you're thinking about the fat loss, so normally in the fat loss, if you're cutting out too much of your food, sometimes you might start losing your muscle mass, so you're starting losing your muscles. So with the fat loss, we are having also a muscle loss. So you just make sure that there is that optimal cutting out food so that you actually don't starve yourself. So if you start being on some diet, if you start being very edgy and just starting being actually anxious, nervous, aggravated, that means just that your body is fighting and struggling with what you're doing with your body in that moment of time. So you roughly need between, so let's say between 12 and 15 weeks to follow certain program and doing certain type of exercise for you to start seeing that what effect that has on your body. I know lots of people want to have results very quickly, so they're focusing to lose 2 stone in a month, or just to get for like in perfect shape for the holiday. And this is where the problem starts. Our body just can't cope with such a fat loss, such a quick fat loss, because you want to do what is optimal for your own health. So for our health, it's recommended to lose between a half a kilo, so it's like a pound to pound and a half per week to be to count as a healthy weight loss. So if you think, I don't know, if you need to lose 10 kilos and you just count at how much is that per week, count how many weeks you need to be, you need to carry on with that diet or food plan that you're following for you to lose that weight. So don't rush. It's not necessary for you to lose weight in such a quick space of time. Okay, it's very important to track your progress. There is 3 ways of, well, like 4 ways to track it. One of them is weighing yourself. It's always, well, lots of people are saying don't lose the scales. They're quite depressing. It's just because people are using it very early in the morning, and then literally sometimes you're just stepping up on the scale every time when you walk into the bathroom. So if you're doing during the day, if your weight literally goes like that, it's completely normal, because you've just been consuming and eating and drinking during the day. So the optimal weight is if you do it early in the morning when you wake up, before you consume anything, and after you've been into the bathroom. So literally, like, your stomach is empty, and whatever it is in your body, this is what it is. Or then you're having measurements, so you're going to measure around your bicep, your chest, underbra, navel, hips and your thighs. Always make sure that you're measuring from exactly the same point, so that it's accurate every single time that you take it. So then you have pictures, which is always, like, lots of people hate it because they, I don't know, they hate their body and they don't want to take pictures, but it's so crucial for you to follow the progress, especially if you're serious about losing weight. It's so important to compare it, because this is sometimes when you feel like, oh, I just feel like I haven't done anything, and you just take the picture, I don't know, 3-4 weeks later, and you compare it and you see the difference, and this is what actually gives you even further motivation to carry on. And the last one is body fat, or what we are doing with calipers, which is like actually taking body fat, like fat parts of your body in certain areas, but that's obviously what we trainers do. Okay, so they say about exercise, so with a fat loss, it's the most important food. So if you are not ready to change your food, and if you want to destroy yourself in the gym every single day, you're not going to have much of success. You're just going to torture your body. So if you really want to fuel it with the right nutrients and right energy sources, then the first thing you need to tackle is food and your food habits. And there are my few tips. You are having to have a protein with every meal, so you have 3 meals a day. To have lots of vegetables, because the vegetables help you with the fibers to fill you up, and to have good fats as well. So to have like olive oil, nuts, avocado. So for example, half avocado per meal, like twice a day, it'll be enough. Some people are saying low carb diet. I can't function without carbs, so I would have like a sweet potato or like a brown rice. It's not a huge amount, but I do have it after my workout. So let me just see. Oh yes, and it's very important for women. If you're tracking your progress, and if you're seeing that your weight just gone up and then going down within a month, you have to make sure that that women are fluctuating with weight because of our cycle, and it's always due to our water retention. So with the water retention, always helps if you're cutting out salty foods, so cut out that salt intake, but also dehydration. So if you're dehydrated, your body will just straight away store water, and you're just going to feel bloated, tired. So if you want to lose weight, make sure you're losing on a healthy way, track it, take those measurements and pictures to progress, and also include exercise. Use exercise 3, 4, 5 times a week. Be regular. Don't do 1 week and then skip another 2 weeks and then jump back on exercise. Just be constant. Just keep going, and then your results are just going to be as more and more progressive. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Do you like the view? This is the Newmarket, and this is where we are having horses riding up this hill. So have a great evening, everyone. Hope this helped. Stay track on your weight loss or fat loss, and see you very soon. Bye.